And welcome back. Much needed coffee break there. Right, as before, I've prepared the next stage, sanded and cleaned all the next parts, and like the nose cone, these are location spines for the hull. So without further ado, I will take these parts and locate them on the hull as described. Now I'm going to do these slightly differently because of the amount of locations in one go. So I'm taking the nose off, and then I'm going to locate from the front to the rear if at all possible, so that I know they're going in properly, because like I said before, fat fingers and this kit do not work very well. That's one. Try and work from the front to the back. You can't always do it. There you go, you see. So we'll go front to back like I said I should. Wiggle so that I know they've located, and then give them a bit of gentle persuasion, like so. And I can't get my fingers in these, so I'm going to try and do it with a pair of tweezers. Like that. And that's fine, that's perfect. And if they pop out anywhere else, I can just press them back in at the front. So front to back is easy. Like I say, just give them a wiggle and they quite easily locate. Try and line them up individually so that the ones that pop back out it's popped out for some reason. I can't get in there. Let's try and get a bigger pair in if I open them up. There we go. That's a lot better. There, that's better. So now, continuing on, making sure they're in the right way round, line them up, and again back to front. A stronger pair of tweezers helps. Open them up slightly and then push, and that's what it will look like all the way round, barring any problems. A bit of a wiggle, and I can never get into that last one. There we go. Sausage fingers. They never work on little areas. And this is the tricky one because it's right next to the gondola support, so I've got to be a little bit careful here. That's it, that's gone in, that one. And that one's gone in as well, that's fine. And again, on the other side, right next to the gondola support. That's gone in. And that's in. Make sure the other two have stayed in place. Yep. And the final piece is going to be, he hopes, just as easy going in. Again with a pair of tweezers, bit of gentle persuasion. Doesn't want to go in. There. All in, nice and tight. And then we have to collect all that back up and connect it back to this. Okay. Gently, piece by piece, line them all up. And start pushing. And then make sure your locators are all in. Go around each one, make sure that they've seated properly. And there we have it. Airship. All but complete. Now there's a bit of detail that goes on the side of this. Excuse me. And it's pretty much what goes on this side goes on the reverse side. So we shall set to and get on to that. So I need A6, A7 and A8. There we go. Put that to one side. So that's A8. Again, very nice bit of detail on that. And it's printed on one side so that you know that that's the inside rather than on the outside that looks like this. So you know where you've got to put it and in which orientation it goes. So that's that one. I need an A7. That's the A7. This is a bit of a ship's wheel design. And that's going to sit over the top of that, like so, and an A6, which is a logo. And that's going to go over the top of that, like that. So then we take the airship and we place them on in that order. So A8 is first, wiggle wiggle, wiggle wiggle, there we go. Then number 7, again wiggle, and then number 6 sits over the top of the whole thing, holding it all in place. There. And you do the same again on the reverse side, and it's rather smart. Don't know what it stands for, so we'll get on and do the opposite side. I'm not going to cut and show you it finished. I'll do it while on camera, that way you know what I'm up to. Part 7. And part 8. Okay, now on this side I'm going to put a bit of beeswax in there to help with guiding, because I don't want to break that. I don't want to break any of that. And look at that, wonderful. Straight on, no messing about. Slid straight on there. And again, pre-lubed is all ready and waiting. Wipe off any excess. There we go. Looks rather nice. Might not be your thing, but if you don't try, you're never to know. Okay, next piece on the airship. Well, it's the final section on the airship, and we're looking at the sheet. Get the right sheet. 2 B8s, which are these little cog things here. And I need 2 of those. Quicksand where the connections were. And it's showing them on the gondola legs. So it's 2 on this side. On the upper strut, like so, and then 2 more on the lower side, on the opposite side, not on the lower side, on the opposite side. Quicksand of those. There we are. These are just decorative, I believe. They're not holding anything. We'll get that on there like that, and then we'll put that on there like that. So 4 little clockwork cogs in place. And finally 2 B9s, which are these little pieces here. So I need 2 of those. A B3, which is an end cap piece, which is there, and the B4, not the after. Said it before, anybody else got in there? Three B2s, and B3s, B4s, B2s, and B9s. Okay, so quick clean up. You don't want to do over sanding on these because you don't know how much of the actual part is doing the load work. So firm but fair. Then B3. And B4. Okay. So assembly is B4 into B3, like so. I'm hoping that's the right way round, yes. And you slide it in sideways, so that it puts an end cap at the back of the ship. And then you take your B2s, again using the socket rather than the lug to locate. And this one I'm going to do the outsides and then the inside, so that it locates the lug piece itself. And that's the tail end of the airship in place, and it's tidied all the back end up. And then the 9s, one goes here. Now that's small and fiddly. Paying extra care to not break the fishtail. And then the other one goes on the underside in exactly the same place near the hole in the fishtail. And that is the airship itself complete. And I think that looks rather nice. And when I return, we will start on the gondola, which is a little more in detail. See you shortly.